Piper is right when he says the vast majority of mankind, including much of professed Christianity, is living their one very precious, very short life in such a way that they are wasting it. Piper says if you ask the vast majority of people what a life well spent looks like, you will get, by and large, this answer. And he catalogs this for us. He says, well, a life well spent would be to get a good education, to have a good husband, maybe a good wife, a couple of good kids, a good job, making good money, a nice house, some good friends, great vacations, a fun, leisurely, well-funded retirement. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with any of those things, but there's something conspicuously missing there. Does anybody pick it up? God is missing. Jesus Christ is missing. And beloved, if you miss Jesus Christ, you've missed it all. We were created by Him and for Him. If we miss Him, we've missed it all. We've missed it all. Piper says this is not a life well spent. It is a life wasted. Piper calls this kind of life a tragedy. If that's all your life is about, with those things that I read off that list, if that's all it's about, Piper says it's not only wasted, it is a tragedy. If we don't live our life built around Jesus Christ and the words of Jesus Christ, this is a tragedy. Because Jesus is at worst wholly absent, and at best, He's peripheral. How many professed Christians do you know that Jesus is just, He's kind of like a spiritual mascot. He's kind of like a religious icon. He doesn't really impact the way I think, the way I hope, the way I dream, and ultimately the way I live. Again, John Piper is right. That is a wasted life. Piper writes this, God created us to live with a single passion, to joyfully display His supreme excellence in all spheres of our life. The wasted life is the life without this passion. Most people slip by in life without this passion for God, spending their lives on trivial diversions, living for comfort and pleasure, squandering their days on bubbles that burst. I've always loved that line. I guess I read this book 15 years ago. I've never forgotten that line, bubbles that burst. How many people are spending their lives chasing bubbles that burst? It doesn't mean anything. Their goal, what they're chasing after, it's temporal. I love that imagery. Bubbles that burst. Piper goes on to say, the true disciple of Jesus Christ, he says, God in Jesus Christ has unleashed us from these small dreams. Don't you love that? We're free. We're free. We don't have to have the priorities of the world. We don't live for those small little things that unregenerate men live for. We don't pursue that anymore. That doesn't make our heart beat fast anymore. God and the things of God make our heart beat fast. As the song says, to give ourselves away to Jesus Christ. That makes our heart beat fast. That is how we choose to live. Beloved, have you been unleashed? I'll just stop and ask. Have you been unleashed? Are you still chasing bubbles that burst? Are you still on the road that the broad road, the wide road, the road that everybody else is on? Or have you chosen the road less traveled? I believe this is part of what God is saying to us